every single night. The scratching in the walls, the rustling behind the refrigerator, the feeling that your own home has been taken over by something you can't see. One homeowner had mice everywhere. The kitchen, the hallway, all the way up into the attic. Large ones, small ones. It didn't matter how many traps they set or how many times they cleaned. The mice kept coming back. And then, almost by accident, they tried something that most people would immediately dismiss. Something sitting right there in their kitchen. Something most of us have at home right now. What happened next surprised a lot of people.
Today, we're breaking down 2 unusual but popular DIY mouse control methods. They're simple, they're cheap, and the ingredients might already be in your pantry. Stay until the end, because the second method includes a step most people completely overlook.
Before you touch anything, gloves on. This is non-negotiable. Mice have an extraordinarily sensitive sense of smell. If your scent gets onto the bait or the area around it, mice will detect it instantly and avoid the whole thing entirely. One barehanded mistake can make an entire batch of bait useless. Gloves protect your effort. Keep them on for everything we're about to do. Here's what you'll need for the first method. 2 tablespoons of flour, plain, ordinary flour. Mice are drawn to it because it's easy to eat and carries a scent they find familiar. 2 teaspoons of sugar. Mice have a powerful attraction to sweet food. Sugar makes the mixture irresistible. It draws them in before anything else does. 2 tablespoons of seeds. Sesame seeds, flax seeds, or finely chopped walnuts and hazelnuts all work well. Mice are wired to seek out fat and protein. The aroma of seeds triggers that instinct strongly. And finally, 2 tablespoons of cement or plaster. Here's the key ingredient. Cement is nearly odorless and tasteless when mixed with the other ingredients, so mice won't detect it as out of the ordinary.
Mix everything thoroughly until it's evenly combined. Then spoon it onto a paper plate or a small disposable container. Now, placement matters more than almost anything else. Mice don't wander freely through the center of rooms. They travel along edges. They hide behind furniture, along baseboards, behind the refrigerator, under the sink. Place the bait in those exact locations, not in the open. Once the bait is placed, set a small container of Coca-Cola right beside it. Some versions of this method suggest that after eating the dry mixture, mice will seek out something to drink, and the Coca-Cola is there to complete the process. Does it work for everyone? Results honestly vary, but the concept behind the mixture, luring with familiar ingredients while including something unexpected, is why this method keeps circulating online. Always keep bait away from children and pets. Dispose of bait materials safely. The second method uses something even more basic. Bread. It doesn't need to be fresh. Old bread works perfectly. Any variety. Tear or cut it into small pieces. Smaller pieces are better because you can spread them across more locations. Lightly dampen the bread, not soaking wet, just enough to give it a soft, moist texture. Then take plain flour and coat each piece generously. Every surface should be covered. Add 1 spoonful of sugar and mix it all together. If you're dealing with mice in multiple areas of your home, scale this up. There's no reason to limit yourself to one location. Then add 1 spoonful of plain cement. Regular, inexpensive cement, nothing special. Some people add a small pinch of extra sugar on top at this stage to help cover the scent. Mix everything gently until combined. Now, the same placement rules apply. Small amounts in dark corners, behind kitchen cabinets, behind the washing machine, along walls where you've actually seen mice moving. Mice prefer hidden edges over open floors. One important thing to know, a clean house is not a protected house. Mice enter from outside, through sewers, garages, gaps in walls, neighboring properties. Cleanliness helps,
but it isn't a barrier.
Two methods, both built from ingredients that cost almost nothing, both designed around how mice actually move, eat, and behave. Method 1 is dry, a powder mixture with Coca-Cola on the side. Method 2 uses bread as a carrier. Softer, more dispersible, just as easy to make. Try one. Watch the locations where you've placed the bait. Adjust based on where activity appears. And remember, for serious infestations, professional pest control is always a reliable option. These methods are a starting point, not a guaranteed fix. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe. We cover practical home tips like this every week. Drop a comment telling us where you're watching from and which method you're going to try first. See you in the next one.